You know, I was looking up the director of this movie, Craig Gillespie, because I'm like, I'm not sure if I've seen anything directed by him. Turns out he directed Cruella, which, yeah, that kind of tracks, actually. Supergirl! The second feature film for the DCU for this continuity, because other than Superman, so far it's been TV related stuff. And I'm not going to say I went in hopeful, but I went in looking for the good wherever I could because I already knew that the critical reception was soft on this and the box office has been meh. Um, and I don't know. I think part of me was kind of expecting a bit of a Thor: Love and Thunder experience, which for me watching that movie was okay. When does it get bad? Because everyone's saying that it's bad, and I don't get why they think it's bad. For the record, I do get why people think it's bad. I still think it's good. Take it over multiple other Thor movies any day. But, anyways, this it's the script, as is usually the case with these things. The script is undercooked, and I know I singled out the director, which if I'm gonna hit the script as being the biggest issue, maybe that's unfair. Wait, who wrote the script? Oh, okay, a writer who is far better known as an actor with only one short film credit to her name prior to this. Not entirely sure how she got this gig. Um, and like the script isn't irrevocably flawed, but like to my mind, this needed another two passes for revisions because like I'm gonna note stuff, all of which is fixable, but the end result is what I saw on screen. So here we go. First of all, performances are good. Everybody across the board is giving at least a workable, solid performance. We have cameo work by David Cornsweet as Superman. It's good to see him again. Millie Alcock is good as this iteration of Supergirl. Jason Momoa as Lobo was fine. I was mildly underwhelmed, but I don't think that's his fault. I think it's just because this is one of those cases where it's such a direct translation from page to screen that I'm just left going like, yep, that's Lobo. Didn't do anything, new, unique, no real adaptation. You just slapped them up on screen. I that's cool, I guess. And like I like Lobo. Lobo can be fun, and he's fun enough here. He does feel a little bit tacked on. Like the story doesn't need him, and I'm not sure how much the story benefits from his presence. Like, it's not an unwelcome presence. I don't think he's a detriment. I'm just not sure he's an asset as a character for this particular story. But Supergirl herself, Kara, is pretty solid. The best scene in the movie by far, is the flashback scene we get to basically her origin story. Because, Clark's parents, his Kryptonian parents, just, sent him off. But Kara's parents tried to save this entire city. And initially they did. And it just long-term didn't work out that way. And she really sells the weight of that and how it sits on her, and the scenes themselves are really well done. I found myself getting choked up a little bit. It's really well delivered, like across the board, performances, directing, cinematography, music. It all really pulls together for that flashback stuff. Other than that, I appreciate them going smaller scale with the scope of this because like they have a superhero in space. You kind of it would lend itself to very large scale storytelling, but they keep it very small, very personal, which I think was a good call. I think that was the right call. Because like I said, the issue is not the core ideas. So I think I'm going to have to pick some specific things to sort of have them be illustrative of what I mean by the script need a couple more passes. We have the villain. Bless the actor. He's trying. It feels like they're trying to make him Immortan Joe, but he's coming across more like Taserface. So like again, bless the guy, he's trying, but it's not quite there. They have these, these enslaved and trafficked girls, but that also feels kind of superfluous. Like, well, let's have, because it's Supergirl, have her rescue trafficked girls. I'm like, okay, but it's not really thematic with anything else. It doesn't tie into anything else, and it's not like everything has to tie into the theming, but I think the thing's a little bit muddled on what its themes are. So I think this mostly comes up with Kara and her little sidekick character. I mean, I say sidekick, hanger on. Might be more accurate. It's hard to have a one-word description for her, but Ruthie, who wants Kara's help for revenge, and Kara is going to help initially just because Crypto was hurt and she needs to get an antidote for what he's been poisoned with to help him, and that's going to take her to the same people that Ruthie is trying to hunt down. But eventually getting more entangled with her, and there's this very emotional, well sold by the performance aspect from Kara, where like this whole like, I will help you find him, but I won't let you kill him. You can't take revenge that way. It's going to poison you. That's something you carry forever. And she delivers it with this force and this emotion that is screaming, I've made this mistake. But she hasn't. Her loss isn't even something that could be something that would tempt her into revenge. There was no one single person for her to blame for what happened to her home and her family and the people that she loved. So like the movie recognizes that there is a parallel between the pain and the loss that Kara experienced and the pain and the loss that Ruthie has experienced because her family was killed by this guy. It recognizes that they have had, in some ways, comparable losses and that there is linkage there. But then it takes it in the direction of Kara being so insistent, no, you can't take revenge. You don't want that life. And I'm like, how do you know? You're 23 years old, and so far as is shown in this movie, you've never done that. Like, what is weighing you down is not what is weighing her down. Now, that's not me saying that there's no way to bridge this gap. No way to have Kara explain that, like, no, baby, I've not done that, but I carry guilt every day for just still being alive. You think that wouldn't be compounded if I'd also killed somebody trying to make myself feel better? Like, there are things you could do to just make that more knit together, but they don't. It's just this not full disconnect, but like things don't, like, it should be lining up like this, but it's more like this. It's like that's mildly misaligned. And as a result, spoilers for the end, I guess, for this last bit, I'm not entirely sure what the morals of this thing are. I don't understand the final message it's trying to impart, and I don't understand its moral compass, because they have Kara, after insisting to Ruthie that she not be, someone who would kill this guy in revenge, Kara then kills him. And explicitly kills him in revenge. Because she says, that's for my dog, that's for this other girl I saw you killed. Which, look, I appreciate that second one, if for no other reason than it otherwise would have been an unacknowledged and cruel death. It's arguably still a little cruel, but at least it gets acknowledged that, like, hey, that was messed up and you should pay for that. Like, okay, good, you did that at least. But at the same time, it's like, your message is, don't take revenge, and then you kill this guy explicitly for the purposes of revenge. And again, it's not that you can't square that. I can look at something like the 5th season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the finale of that one, where Giles does something that he knows Buffy would never do. But, that's also because he's such a different person from her. And they're drawing the parallels to compare and make us see the similarities between Kara and Ruthie. And so having this moment for them and for Kara, it doesn't click right. And I don't know what point the movie thinks it's making. And if it thinks it's being daring, but like our Supergirl kills, I'm like, well, you kind of established in Superman that most of your heroes are willing to kill other than Superman. He's the exceptional one right now in this universe. And I kind of would have preferred if Kara had been in that same area. Not that I inherently have a problem with her killing people. It's not like it's a complete reversal of her characterization as she's supposed to be, as it would be with Superman. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't even have the effect of like, oh, this is a different hero. It's like, no, we've already seen heroes kill. Depending on how much of the DCU stuff on freaking HBO or HBO Max or whatever the hell it's called now, if you've taken much of that in, most of them kill people. And so I don't know, man. I'm not sure what it thinks its moral stance is. And yeah, all of these feel like things that could have been ironed out with a couple more drafts. But as is, it's just not quite there. Yeah. I got to figure out how I'm going to rate it. Like, I don't do ratings proper, like here. If you watch this, you know, but like I am a registered critic on Rotten Tomatoes, and I know I just spent the vast majority of this review talking about why it's not quite working. I still don't know if I want to mark it as a negative review, though, because like I did mostly enjoy watching it. It's one of those things that's really riding the line. And like, this is exactly why I don't give numbered scores at the end of videos. Because, you know, people take that as objective. But like, when I register this as a review on Rotten Tomatoes, I need to tell them, consider this a rotten or a fresh review and contributed to the score in that way. And I don't know. Because like, it's still fun. Central performance is really good. Looks pretty good for the most part. A couple of the needle drops are a little on the nose, even by like James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy metrics. Some of the needle drops are really on the nose. But, you know, they worked well enough. I don't know. Do I want to mark something as fresh for being good enough? I guess not. Yeah, I feel like when I know something is being kind of hemmed and hawed over, there's part of me that just wants to find the good in it. Like, hell, I do this with my own Doctor Who rewatches. When I do a second viewing and a re-review of something that I've already watched and know that I don't like, I'm spending the rewatch looking for whatever good I can find that maybe I missed the first time. I think knowing what the general opinion on this already appears to be, I think I kind of went into this with a similar point of view. And there's good here, to be sure, but on assessment, this is a fumble. The good that's here gets muddied by some of the underbaked elements on the back end, and it just doesn't pull together as a whole. Shame. Supergirl, what'd you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills, enables me to do this as my living, even if you can't help me out that way. Like, share, subscribe. They all help. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. Now to thank my highest supporting patrons: Robin Moore, Jared Boyce, Zubin Lipfula, Auntie Kate 808, Mira G, Angry Casperl, Claire Wright, Dave Hall, Snark Shark, Oliver B, Mystic Shadow, Daphne Matthews, Sean Miller, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Melissa Pedersen, Becky Sparks, Twilord, Kay Johnston, Tracy Scrabbit, Pal Barabajoggle, Magdalena, Sir Didymus is my favorite, and a couple of additional names I'll have to dub in because I forgot to add them. And here I am with those dub names. Thank you to the Demon Bunny, Vin Jost, and Sarvis. I'm a little bit distracted, you might have noticed. Everyone's reintegrated. Don't worry about Navarro. He got rehoused. He's completely happy where he is. But this is the mischief now. And it's a lot.